When I was just a little girl, I asked my mother, what would I be? Will I be pretty? Will I be rich? Here's what she said to me. Que sera, sera, whatever will be, will be. The future's not ours to see. Que sera, sera.
When Jan was just a teenager, she started feeling like she had been reborn. Hear her story from herself.
Hi, this is Jan, and I would like to share my reincarnation memories with you. This all started when I was a teenager, and my family and I would take trips across the country. And I always wanted to stop if it was a ghost town or just, buildings that had been around since the 19th century, or little log cabins where they had mannequins inside, and then all the cutlery and the tableware that was used during the 19th century. I just had to go in and look at all these things. I had my dad make special trips so that I could go in and see these exhibits, and I would just go in and stare at them. And the only way I can describe it is just a knowingness. I just knew this. I knew the whole thing. I knew the routine. I knew it just really, really spoke to me. Then, as time went on, other things started happening. For example, I went to a movie. This was maybe 15, 20 years ago. And it was a movie set during the 19th century. And there was a man, and he was speaking to a teenage girl, and he asked her if she knew how to skin a deer. And I remember that as soon as he asked her that, in my head, I thought, I used to know how to do that. I've just forgotten. And I remember thinking, wow, why did I just have that thought? How strange.
She also shared that a few years back, when she was at a Civil War celebration, they had booths set up showing the artillery used at the time, and also the food that the soldiers got to eat. One of them was hardtack, and she remembered explaining to the man that hardtack has no flavor, but it tides you over. And she wondered later how she remembered that, because she'd never tasted it in her life.
And then one time I was in the Gene Autry Western Museum, which is here in Los Angeles, and I had a similar experience when I looked down at an exhibit that was of a mother who'd come over on a covered wagon with her children and all the clothes she had made for them. And I looked at it, and once again, it was a knowing. I thought, okay, I used to know how to make all these clothes. I know I did this for my own children. I've just forgotten how to sew, because I don't sew at all in this life. So it's been pretty interesting. The other thing is that I am a teacher. I've taught music classes and English classes for a long time, and I feel very comfortable in like an old country schoolhouse in the 19th century. I just feel that's something that I probably did. I also feel like I came over on the covered wagon. I have no memories of my husband, which is a little weird, but I do remember that I had children, probably about 5 or 6 of them. I think it was 6, a mix of boys and girls.
She said that she couldn't remember what her children looked like, except for one little boy who had dark hair.
I also have the feeling that I was a Christian, Presbyterian, and went to services. I was religious. And then the other thing that I remember is that I think my name was Margaret. So very interesting. And I would love to have a past life regression and see if I could, relive some of this and see if it really is true. But my conclusion that I've come to is that any time in history or any certain thing that you are really drawn to, whether it's a time in history, a certain type of clothing, certain whatever, if you're really drawn to it and fascinated by it and cannot stop thinking about it, you were there at one time. That is the conclusion I have come to. So that's my story. Thanks for listening.